Nene is throwing subliminals again. And, she's like, support Black women. And let me see, like, this is what she said.
Well, Nene, we can support the show and still support you, but not support you on the show because you run your course. Like, you really haven't had a plot line in 2 years. Why can't you sit down and face facts?
So first she says, support Black women. Then it says, I have protected everyone for years and have covered up things I shouldn't have. I took the beating so others didn't have to. She spelled "two" wrong.
I am so tired of Nene and her martyr complex.
No one has protected me or stood up for me. Y'all have gone silent and turned the other cheek. You are not exempt from getting the same treatment one day. I'm tired. Like, we know the situation. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't care that she's in it with Bravo right now. Like, I feel like that was a grave that she helped dig herself.
Absolutely. And also, they're doing it to the white women.
Exactly. Like, I don't think she's exempt from the same treatment. She's getting the same treatment, actually.
That's across the board. OC, they got rid of the oldies. Vanderpump's out. And there may be more heads rolling this season. New York, they got rid of Bethany.
Mm-hmm. Like, this whole support Black women, I'm just like, where were you supporting Candy when she came on the show first? Or your friend Sheree? And then now you're good buddies with Kim, but...
Oh, exactly. Now, when you were telling Sheree, you need to get on the right team, I'm going to give you this right here. Remember that? Where was the support with Black women with the when you gave her that? And then she got off the show and was impoverished and remained so in her mold-filled edifice.
That what's annoying me is Megan's situation that came out. That's when Nene came out with something to say like, oh, protect Black women and support Black women. I'm just like, she's now compared herself to George Floyd, Meg Thee Stallion.
Rosa Parks.
She
did a rose at one point.
Yeah, that too. And she made Tamar Braxton's situation about her too. It was just real. I'm just like, why are you doing this, Nene? Like, we used to love Nene because she was like unapologetically authentic and funny.
Now she just craves so much attention, but instead of getting it for good things like being funny, she just is desperate at this point. She doesn't have any material, so it's just jumping up and down and jumping on the cause as, okay, well, now you can look at me. Like, we're over your new noses, we're over your Instagram filters. You need to take a break from social media and only come on when you actually have a show to do or something.
I'm thinking of a moose just jumping up and down, stomping on something. That's what I'm thinking of right now. I don't know. Like, I just miss the old Nene. Like Kanye, I miss the old Kanye and I miss the old Nene.
The old Nene would have been a hoot on Instagram, laughing and cooking for Brent, just not trying to be as fabulous as the Nene of today. Like, the wigs would have been fun. I mean, the wigs are still funny, but now they're unintentionally funny.
And speaking about getting the same treatment, you heard that for Married to Medicine, like, Quad is officially going to be, well, allegedly, Quad is officially going to be a friend of the show. And Mariah is definitely out.
And Mariah's saying that Bravo is trying to steal the show from her, but I'm like, well, what was your agreement with Bravo? Are you still getting a check for your, creating the show? Like, are you still getting that check? And you're just mad that you're not on the show because you don't have a good relationship with any of the women? And I still say Simone kicked Mariah off that show.
I mean, that's the thing about contracts, like, it's, legally binding, and you might not have thought about it once you signed it that, this is going to be a cash cow for a major network that would span, what season is it on? 7 now? Or
6 maybe?
6?
And spawned 2 franchises, Houston, which died after 1 season, and LA, which is on life support.
Yes.
I mean, they like I would say if they could recast LA, but they were so desperate they had Jasmine on who wouldn't even show her husband.
Did you see her attack Heavenly out of nowhere? Like Quad like attacked Heavenly? No? And they're supposed
No,
to be friends?
they were thick as thieves. That was the only person who would shoot with Quad.
Exactly. So Quad just posted a photo of herself showing off the body. It looks nice. And then Heavenly she leaves two emojis on this. The emoji with the hand over the mouth. Two of them. So out of the blue, it's like Quad responds to her like, damn sis, don't be a hater all your life. Sorry you spent all your coins at the doctor and still didn't get the body God gave me. Now run and tell that. Hashtag lipo, hashtag lap band, bariatric surgery, hashtag gastric sleeve, hashtag gastric bypass, hashtag whatever it took to be mediocre. Over 2 emojis that Heavenly put under her.
You know what? Heavenly is such a foul, sick, vindictive, and hurtful harpy. Such a sinister witch that I can't disagree with that read. I am glad that Quad said, you know what, you want to clap? Let's get to clapping. What did Heavenly have to say? Because Heavenly always wants to with that mouth. So come on, Heavenly, come on. It's time. Let's go talk about it. Let's talk about it. You can read Quad too. You can read her from edge to edge because that's a lot of scalp to go through.
So Heavenly responded on Twitter to somebody, and she said, I think I should leave it alone. Obviously a plight to get back on the show. We literally have no beef. I just spoke to her a few days ago. I won't do fake stuff. Hashtag just sad. So yeah.
Now Heavenly wants to take the high road. Now really nasty Heavenly, frog mouth Heavenly.
Definitely. Wow.
Please. You see, she's doing this right here. Hold on,
Is that how Nene did it instead of an open hand?
It was a like that. Like a karate move.
Yeah, I think this is the crane style or tiger. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened with Trey Songz?
So apparently these two women went on this radio show, well, podcast, and they were talking to this guy about their sexploits, and like they were very curt about what they were doing. Like these were just like bad bitches. Like, yeah, I sucked this dick. Yeah, like I did this. You know, we were all like this. Like just stuff like that. So
double fisted.
Well, I don't know what it was about. I'm just giving you the cliff notes. But one of the women was giving her details about a celebrity, and she didn't want to say his name. But then she's like, fuck it. It was Trey Songz. And her girlfriend was just like egging her on, like to keep saying everything. I need you to show you the clip. How about I show you the clip?
Show me the clip.
Clip? Yes.
Okay, I need to start watching his show because wow.
That was a lot. Now, let's unpack that. Because it was a lot of tea spilled. Particularly the part where he likes to hold people's phones hostage and threaten them to like destroy it if they don't do what he asked of them.
We have been hearing stories about Trey Songz for a while. Kiki Palmer.
Exactly. And that's what everyone's talking about. And the theme this week has become like, believe Black women, protect Black women, because we don't believe them until a white woman like says the exact same thing that they tried to say.
Oh, honey, they were so dirty, they can't pass for white. I mean, you would have to scrub so many layers of filth off of that epidermis to get to Caucasian.
Hey, there's such a thing as white trash too. So, but yeah, so Kiki Palmer, you know how she went through all that stuff. Like they were gaslighting her on the Breakfast Club. You saw how like her exchange with Wendy. She wasn't there, girl. That was the gag. You know, remember she did that interview?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just really brings that into focus that, yeah, this might have happened. Well, we know it probably did. But we're just allegedly just because.
For legal purposes, it's alleged. We're only talking about what the heifer said on the interview. We weren't there, and that's the gag.
So yeah, so you have...
Wait, excuse me, hold on, lean back. I love that. I love Rocco's Modern Life. That actually started my love of Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I could totally see you in this shirt. Wow. But yeah, I get a lot of my shirts off of T Public, if anyone's wondering. Like, you can do any type of, like, I don't know, anime, animation, any old school shit that you like. They might have a shirt for it. So I get most of my shirts from there. But back to the mess. Yeah, so you have this string of, I mean, the funny thing is Trey Songz' mentor is R. Kelly. That's one thing. So yeah, you have Kiki Palmer, you have these two women, and then you have, anywho, you have this woman from Miami as well saying the same thing.
Oh, that's right. That he hit her and I remember that she was suing him.
And the case on Love B. Scott right now, like she came back in the conversation. She posted everything. I don't know, like nothing else has happened to him, but it's just like maybe the court of public opinion right now. Nothing legal has happened to him yet.
Yeah.
But someone did a really nice tweet that I might have commented on. They said that, oh, well, if you see all these women talking about this, just wait till the men come forward. And you know what? I'm just saying, allegedly. I'm just saying his NDAs are tight. And just imagine what he does with the women. Imagine what he does with the men.
Tight like pussy?
I'll talk to you off camera about some other stuff. Ah! But yeah, that's just alleged. But yeah, we know that he's way behind the scenes. I never liked him anyway, so I'm just like, whatever.
He always gave me a boring tea. I was like, okay, you've got abs. Is that it? Is that all? Where are the hits? I mean, I did like that he was brave enough to do that tongue-in-cheek, and I do mean tongue-in-cheek song, Bottoms Up.
Well, speaking of tongue-in-cheek, he did release some messages, well, some Twitter DMs that he had. I think it was Instagram DMs of this girl talking to him, I guess to like clear his name. In the messages, the girl offers to like eat his ass. And he's like, oh, so when you coming over or something like that. So it's confirmed that he likes to get his ass ate, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with it.
Tongue in cheek. That's why he did Bottoms Up. He was not talking about drinks.
So Bottoms Up has a new meaning sometimes now. Yeah, with Trey Songz, I just think he's like a boring, conventionally attractive Billy Goat that can sing, you know? Like, his music isn't iconic to me. He's nowhere near legendary. He never will be legendary.
Not even a Jaheim legendary. Like, you're not even going to be like hood legend, like a Little Mo.
I mean, he's a poor man's R. Kelly.
I feel like he's a poor man's Usher.
Like, Trey Songz has more so sex bops. And he's known for, like, his sex music, like R. Kelly was. And you know, I love his music anyway because, you know, it's tarnished for me.
And Usher could actually dance and do dance music, and Trey Songz doesn't have any rhythm.
Right. I mean, we do know that Trey Songz uses condoms, unlike Usher, I guess, with the hurt, you know? So I guess Trey Songz at least practicing safe sex. But you can't be hiding people's phones and threatening people.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not about to say anything on him. I don't want no goons at my door. Because from what I hear, he can be very threatening. From what I hear.
Well, I don't think he has goon money to be sending goons out of state.
Look, I will never underestimate a desperate, in the closet R&B singer. Alleged in the closet R&B singer.
Do you know what's going on with Master P versus Monica right now?
I actually just saw that story. So the background is, I wasn't sure you want to do this story. The background is C Murder, who is a New Orleans rapper. My New Orleans people know it. So allegedly he's in jail for, I want to say a murder, but I don't think he committed it. So.
Okay, because I know they're trying
to be in jail for wrongful accusation.
Okay, because I know they're trying to free him.
Right. And since Monica divorced from her husband, she got a little bit more closer to C Murder, who she used to date. Because Monica loves her thugs. She does. So they've been in talks together, and she hooked him up with Kim Kardashian to help get him out. So that's where this all comes into play. And so Master P was voicing that, he has his own thing with his brother, because he said his brother was hard-headed, and, he was in jail. He was out of jail. He was in jail before and he was out, and then he went right back in. And Master P was just saying, he's done helping his brother. He cut him off, but he hopes that he can get out. And he was like, he doesn't know where all these people are coming into his family situation,
Well, here's the thing. If you were doing what you were supposed to for your family, then they wouldn't be in your family situation. But since you've left him high and dry and you feel like he got what he deserved, which is sick to me, I can't even begin to digest that. However, if you have hope for him, then shut up and let Kim do her work.
Yeah,
she's actually making herself useful. Let's let her keep it up.
Yeah, regardless of what I think about Kim Kardashian, she's trying to help.
That's all we can ask.
I know.
And the truth is she's doing more than most.
Me saying a compliment about Kim Kardashian is like me having taking a dose of castor oil, it's just, I hate it, but whatever. But yeah, he said something about Monica and saying she's just doing it because, he implied that she was doing it because, now she's not with her husband anymore, and she's she's connected with his brother again. So he don't know what her intentions are,
She thinks she wants to spring him to get some new dick?
It might be. And I hear prison dick is good.
I don't know if I would believe it.
Ask Sheree.
Or Phaedra. Now check that.
Right. I mean, speaking of Phaedra, I do have some Nene news.
Oh, what Nene news? I really was enjoying the fact that the moose seemed to be in hibernate over the summer.
Oh no, she's been very vocal after Meg's situation. I guess we'll talk about that later. Someone pointed out that it's been a while since we had Love and Hip Hop.
And it's gonna be. They actually got a pandemic check.
And I'm not mad.
You know what? We need a break from them. We need a moment from Red.
Did you hear Lori Loughlin? Is that how you pronounce her name? Loughlin?
Does it matter? Felon.
It does.
Lori Felon.
Yes, she is a felon. She's been sentenced to 2 months in prison. 2 months. And her husband was sentenced to 5 months.
Damn. And they high risk. They high risk. They didn't care. They said, get in there.
As far as the sentencing, I mean, what do you think?
Having to go to jail during a pandemic? Nah, I'd rather stay in the hot tub. So I feel like that I couldn't do it. Do I think it's fair? Sure.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't going to get years and years.
That's
Especially
really
during a pandemic, like, you don't know if you coming out. That's, oh. And then if you get the shit while you in there, you ain't gonna be able to be comfortable. Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm.
well. For one thing, like just because they're sentenced don't mean they're immediately going to jail. You know, it's not Monopoly, but they're gonna have to go at some point. And two, like it was privilege that helped them, of course, because I mean, say if they were black, they would have been like locked up like for years. I mean, look at Wesley Snipes. Like he was in jail a while for
That's
like
tax evasion. They get everybody for tax evasion.
fair,
You don't
fair,
mess with the I, the R, or the S.
fair. But like I said, like okay, 2 months. What I would tell people who want them to like do more, I would say, well, is she a threat to society right now? You know, you really got to think of that. And then it costs money to put people in jail. And also, I would say, okay, they have a light sentence, but I think everyone should have a light sentence. Like, if it was a person of color, they should be treated the same. But I just feel like it wouldn't be the case if it was a person of color. That's all my only thing.
I agree. I agree. I think that a person of color would have gotten a harsher sentence. I feel like, honestly, I'm surprised they got time, period. I mean, Felicity got 2 weeks. I was expecting something light like that, especially because they went on and put in pleas. And Felicity right now is like, I am so glad I went on, said I did my 2 little weeks before all this shit started, and now I'm home and good. She in the hot tub somewhere like, and I'm done.
Well, what I think should have happened, what I think would have hurt them more instead of just 2 measly months, that she might, you know, serve a lower sentence for good behavior or some shit, you know? Like she's
Oh,
not guaranteed to do the whole 2 months.
is it federal time or is it state time?
I'm not sure. I'll have to go
I
back and
know
check.
if it's state time in California, they'll be out like that. But if it's federal time, you got to do federal time. So I don't know what it is. I know they're
Um,
going to jail and they're going to be uncomfortable with that Rona. Like, I would be more worried about the Rona than shit else.
instead of them worrying about like a measly prison sentence, I think they should have got them where we're hurt, which is their pockets. Like, fine them like $2 million or something, you know? Something.
We'll give you 2 years community service or 2 months prison. What you want, girl? What you want? Yeah, make their asses useful. Them sitting in prison getting the Rona ain't gonna help nobody. Just gonna run up tax dollars. Todd Chrisley uses a hyperbaric chamber to look younger. Child, it ain't working. It ain't working. That's that guy that has the tax issues in the state of Georgia, of course. And he's supposedly married.
Oh, yeah, that straight guy with that woman.
Yes. Ah! I mean, the whole show is us like, really? Y'all just gonna lie to each other all day and all night, huh? Just, It's a white love and hip hop. Really should call that show The Pink Elephant in the Room.
Did you hear this story about Stacey Dash's husband?
He said he was hypnotized into marrying her.
Right. So her husband claimed he only took his vows after Stacey's pastor put religious pressure on him. He says they got married, but that's only because 10 days prior, he claims her pastor unexpectedly and suddenly proclaimed that it was God's will they get married. And he also says that his ability to consent to the marriage was hijacked by the use of hypnotic prayer techniques. Right.
Oh, God. Look, she gonna run your pockets for whatever little bit you got in the divorce. That's what happens when you marry a Dash. I mean, look at Damon.
Are they related?
They're like cousins.
Cousins. Okay. Maybe they're cousins.
Yeah, they are related. They are related.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like dead ass.
Speaking of Stacey Dash, did you hear that they're going to give her character Cher? No, not Cher. It was Dion. Her character Dion's going to get a spinoff.
Oh.
I mean, of course, hopefully they don't use Stacey Dash because I don't think anybody will watch it.
In the words of Dustin Ross, she looks like an ankle today.
She does look like an ankle. Ugh. She has that same type of neck Giselle has.
Dried, leathery, freeze dried.
Like an ostrich neck or something, like the same type of, I don't know, whatever that is.
A hide, not skin, but a hide.
The other big story of the week, you know, Meg Thee Stallion finally said Tory Lanez was the one, finally. She said that she was trying to protect him in that situation. And now since his people is trying to change the story and everyone's calling her a liar for some reason, she's finally come out. Well, she really had to post her foot because people did not believe her.
I mean, good for her for taking control of the narrative.
Yeah, Tory Lanez is over. I think he needs to go to jail, period.
Press charges. I think that LA County can do that. I don't even think Meg needs to really be involved.
Right. Well, it looks like they're trying to deport him too. That's even better, you know?
I think he's already back in Canada.
It's not fair though, because Canada's way better off than America right now. I think he should stay his ass here and suffer with the rest of us.
You said, wait a minute, deport. You see, now people going to be like, deport, bye. Right. Get me my flight. Y'all motherfuckers, you can't get it together. We are ready to go. People are going to be like, you know what? I thought it was bad. This is a downgrade. Mm-mm.
Yeah. You know, WAP is still going to be #1 next week, so she's enjoying being in the news cycle regardless. This has really been her year, even though, some bad things happen to her.
Right. And another week at #1 for Cardi.
Yeah. It is just crazy how this song has become so popular. I heard it on the beach all day yesterday. You saw Sean T.
I remember seeing him trending about being versed.
It started because he was doing a dance to WAP, where he was twerking on the floor, doing this and getting on his husband. And it was really Darren's Dance Grooves type of twerking. And then he was a good sport about it. He was getting clowned, but, people were trying to shame him into calling him a bottom, but he was like, actually, I'm verse.
Bottom shaming is a thing.
I mean, let's end bottom shaming, can we? I don't know. Meanwhile, I'm a... That's all you get. That's all you get from me. I am... And that's all there is to it. Someone put in my comments, please review Love and Lockup in all caps. I'm sorry, I'm not going to review that show. I'm going to leave it to you. You're doing it, right?
I am doing Love After Lockup. I forgot that came on tonight.
If you want to see something funny, so the last Housewives episode, I watch it one time to enjoy it. Then the second time, I look at it with a critical eye, and I have all these notes that I write on it. Did I show you this before?
No.
Yeah, so I have pages and pages of notes. Usually it's a good 5 pages, of notes. I know, right? I'm dedicated. I'm trying.
That's why I'm just no, I'm going to say the shit once. I ain't got time. Because then you got to pause it to write all that shit down.
Yep. It takes me an hour to do it.
Oh.
And then maybe 40 minutes to film, and it's only maybe 13 to 16 minutes.
That people don't understand how much it takes to make all of that content.
Right, what goes into it. Could you imagine?
It really can be between 2 to 5 minutes of production for every minute of content.
Right. Thank God, in Housewives, there's a lot of fast forward moments where it's not that important to get every detail.
It's they got the kids on, yeah.
fast forward. Or Erica, doing Chicago, fast forward, Oh, speaking of shows that I love, you were right. Lovecraft Country is like chef's kiss. Like it was amazing. I love how HBO is low key like putting out all this like original Black content, more so than other networks with Black in the title. But anyway, I love. Oh,
BET.
yeah,
Because
but
I'm like, wait, who? See, I forgot about BET because, they let Tyler Perry take over, and even I gave up on bro.
Right, and then you're on your 67th watch of Baby Boy, It's crazy. But yeah, you were right. Like, usually I don't like period pieces or, segregation times, but it really is just a small backdrop. It just so happens to take place. So it was good.
I think I'm gonna have to watch the first episode again.
Oh yeah. And then I saw the preview for the rest of the season and I was just like, I don't know where the fuck they're taking us. Like,
how many episodes is it gonna be? They're good for giving us 8 to 10.
Yeah, HBO is definitely gonna be 8 to 10, especially because it's an hour episode. So
I watched The Outsider, and that I think was 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was 10.
I really think for those of you who have not watched it, go in blind and just watch it not knowing anything that's gonna happen. Like it will really blow your mind.
And the first episode is free on YouTube.
It is. That's a good way to market it. That's when you believe in a show being that good.
It's worth the HBO Max subscription.
It really gave, the first episode, it gave me Stranger Things, but set in Jim Crow era, almost. Just the first episode.
I got a Mars Attacks tea.
Because it's like a thriller. It wasn't, like a horror, even though they're marketing it as a horror. I think it's like a thriller, suspense. It did get me at that one part, it got a jump scare out of me. When Journey was running away from those things, there was like a jump scare, and I was just like, oh, fuck, it got me. I just think that feeling, when I'm just like, oh, shit.
I watched.
When lightning just strikes, you know how I jump. I jump very easily.
I watched it in the daytime. I think if I had watched it at night, I wish that's something where it's you might get an in the dark review where it's you're just gonna have to look at the outline of my glasses, because that's a show where you turn out all the lights and you watch it in the dark. And I have to watch it with the damn light on. I'm about to turn the light on now and it's still light outside.
I will only watch that in the daytime. So the first episode, yes, but I'm not really sure where the next episode is going with it. So I don't know, but I'm gonna watch it during the day. Kind of like with American Horror Story Roanoke, I was like, oh shit, this is too much. I gotta watch this during the day. I have a very active imagination.
Airbnb has banned all parties.
I saw that. But how would they know, though, that you're, holding a party?
Because neighbors are nosy and they tell everything.
It depends on what neighborhood you're in.
I think it doesn't matter. There's always going to be one busybody, one so-and-so. Word travels fast, and people always brag about the shit on social media, so it's not that difficult.
Yes. People have to post things on social media or else it did not happen.
Right.
Master P responded and told Monica, I don't know you and I ain't trying to get to know you, just for the record.
Oh. Hazel E says her man is only with her for clout. Hazel, what clout do you have? You have nothing. Nothing, nothing, just nothing.
Yeah, like she's not a person of value. Was that the guy who impregnated her?
Apparently.
Oh, so she's on the outs with him already?
Yep.
Damn.
Well, I mean, you know she can't keep a man. She can't keep a nose, so how can she keep a man?
You beat me to it. Oh my
Oh,
God. She needs to go on botched.
Jesus Christ, this damn lighting.
Oh, I know, right? Damn. The first one was better. It's given Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Submitted for the approval of the Shade Society. I present to you a Kardashian hot topic. Kristen asked Khloe and True to move back in with him in the Keeping Up with Kardashians preview.
I won't be watching.
I've never watched. They just are always like, you don't have to. I just think it's funny how a dog can return to its own vomit.
That analogy is just so like, it's so crude.
So is she.
She is. I mean, who is the most likable Kardashian to you? I know, right?
There isn't one. There isn't one.
Out of all 6?
I mean, like, even like the hangers on, like, no, none of them.
In unfortunate news, Kanye is on the ballot in 10 states.
Michelle Obama said, this is not time to play with the candidate that has no chance of winning.
It is what it is.
I love how Chris Brown got that new chain that's like a gold razor blade with diamond cocaine on it. You know what? He's owning it. He's owning it. He's like, look, this is who I am.
He's a fool. Like, really? Like, it's just, I think it was just antics so he could just be in the press. He's not happy because his music does well. Like, that's the one thing that's saving him, his music. But he just does these stunts like, just have a seat, you know?
I look at him and I see the coke. I feel like he's living his truth. Them eyes get a little sunken sometimes.
I'm not coke shaming, but you don't want to be known for your drug use, you know? I'm just being honest.
Coke shaming. Is that what we're doing now? It's coke shaming?
I mean, there's a lot of people, I mean, they don't want to say it, but in California, I know a lot of people who just like, you know, what do you call it? They use coke recreationally. They don't, you know, they don't have a coke problem, but they do it recreationally. So I can't really like, you know, it's not for me. It's just not for me. But I'm not going to shame anybody who likes to partake in. Now, if you have a problem, that's different.
That's true.
Like, you know, it is what it is. It's so funny hearing Michelle Obama say that. It is what it is. I couldn't watch it with the DNC convention. I just can't be dedicated to politics right now.
I watched her speech and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I just can't be committed this time around. Like, I'm going to do my part and vote, but I'm telling you, November 3rd, I'm going to get smacked. Like, I'm going to vote, I'm going to take a Valium and maybe eat a whole edible and do not wake me up until the next day. I can't handle it. I cannot, I'll be full of anxiety.
I would say save your energy. We're not going to know the results of this for a while. Like, go on.
It's going to be cut and dry.
God, I hope so.
Like, I don't think it's going to be a close race. And I just need this horror story to end. Like, I don't want it. It's almost like the Jussie Smollett saga. Like, I want it to end. It's like a bad movie I'm in right now.
Yeah, right now we're in the part that's usually a montage.
Yes, and we have like 70 days. So what about August Alsina?
He said that he came out with the truth because there were certain falsities about him that were affecting his business relationships. What business? You was sick every 5 minutes and you hadn't come out with music in forever. You ain't got nobody's business, boo. Your business was eating Jada's pussy.
I can't even name an August Alsina song.
He made more money off eating Jada's puss than anything he's ever done musically.
Now, he is a poor man's Trey Songz. So it's even worse for him. So it's just, he's not relevant to me.
He's not relevant to most. Not even Jada anymore.
I think that's what hurts him the most. It's always nice when you have a good relationship with the blogs, or else they will like really shade you with the picture.
Exactly, like how I use that picture of Beyonce with those harsh bangs every time.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, but you know, I'm just like, well, it's his channel. He can do it if he wants. It's fine.
I mean, the thing is, it's a funny picture that gets people's attention. I could use the picture. I could do that.
I don't like that one either. Just, I can't have one flattering Beyonce photo.
I've used some flattering Beyonce photos. When I reviewed the Carters, I put a nice picture of her up next to her camel.
Anywho, thankfully we don't have any Beyonce news, y'all. We do have Carol Baskin news. She's allegedly asking for $1.2 million for Tiger King season 2. And I say give it to her because Netflix has the money to do it.
I don't believe in paying murderers.
Fair.
What is she gonna offer? Like, they've told the whole story. Like, what is she going to do? Like, what, unless she's gonna show us where she buried her husband, I don't see what $1.2 million value she's gonna bring. Like,
I think the more limelight that she gets, the closer we'll get to solving that mystery.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Cause she's gonna slip up. Cause she's a mastermind clearly, but she's gonna slip up. Watch, just watch. Mark my words.
I could see it. I could see her being hoisted by her own petard.
But Tiger King really was like a big hit. Like, it kind of even runs synonymous with the whole lockdown situation because we were all locked down and we didn't have nothing to do.
That was the thing. I wonder if it would have been as big a hit if we weren't really stuck in the house.
That's a very good point.
Because that was the point where we were like, really, like, nobody really knew what was going on. Nobody knew how it was transmitted. And we were really like, nobody's going anywhere. And we were afraid to even do takeout. So when you're in the house, you run out of shit to watch.
And that's the reason why Versus isn't that popular anymore, because I feel like we can leave the house now, you know? Gyms open September 2nd, and the buses are going to be free starting August 31st.
Bars are still closed here unless they're like a restaurant, and then you can sit outside. Like, there are some people that sit inside. I'm not sitting inside.
Well, you have the bars here that, you know, in Hell's Kitchen, like, all those bars are open, like Hardware and DBL. They're skirting around the whole food thing by giving out bags of chips and sliders, like those dollar sliders. Yeah. People doing what they can to stay open because, I mean, the governor ain't doing shit.
I mean, I also think, like, how does that work, like, until 4 a.m.? Like, I know the neighbors have to be complaining about the music.
Oh, no, they can't play, like, loud music, but they all have to close by, I think, at least 1. Up here, it's 11. Yeah.
The city that never sleeps went to bed.
I did go to this rooftop in Soho. It's called Mr. Purple. Social distance, like, on the rooftop. It's beautiful. And it lasted until 1 a.m. I was really surprised.
And the subway closes at 1.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So the businesses have to close because they have to make sure the employees get home.
Oh. Oh. Omarion sues Zeus Network for at least $200,000 for breach of contract and fraud.
Concerning what?
Omarion Worldwide and Zeus announced their partnership in February of this year, with plans to release the Millennium Tour live concert featuring B2K. According to the lawsuit, Zeus failed to follow the terms of their deal and screwed him out of his money. I believe it, because Zeus is some janky shit. They probably didn't have the subscriber base to give him what he needed.
Weren't there supposed to be like, like background stuff, backstage access to his tour and everything?
I suppose Zeus was supposed to provide financial support for the product, share all subscriber data, and pay the plaintiff a set amount of every monthly subscription fee earned by Zeus for subscribers drawn to Zeus by their content. Omarion says the defendants almost immediately began engaging in conduct which breached the agreement and showed that the defendants never intended to honor the agreement. During negotiations, the defendant made the below statements to the plaintiff for the express purpose of inducing the plaintiff into signing the agreement. All of these statements were fraudulent, and the defendants never had any intention of honoring them, as evidenced by their immediate breach and refusal to follow the agreement terms after Zeus received the content it desired. They also provided altered subscriber reports meant to deprive Omarion of compensation owed.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, it just seems like Zeus is a flash in the pan app. I can't see them making any good content during COVID.
Or period. They had time before COVID.
You're right. I mean, he might squeeze a couple dollars out of him.
He might squeeze a penny or two out of that turnip. Well, I'll see you sooner than Omarion sees what he's actually owed.
I'll see you sooner than Nene sees, accountability.